Hi everyone, here again to do more painting. Today I'm going to choose a landscape. Well, it's a sunset really. So I'm just going to show you the one I've chosen. There you are, that's it there. So it's got a lot of blast of colour, a lot of blast of light and a lot of action going on in it, and yet it's quite tranquil at the same time. So I rather like this one. So I'll have a wee go at this and I'll talk you through it. Okay, so I'll just let you know the colours that I've got. I'll show you my palette first of all. So this is my palette here. So I've got the titanium white, and I've done it in order as the way that I'll probably do it on my board from light colours into dark. So I'll start with white and lemon, work my way into a sort of peachy colour. I've got yellow ochre just in case I need to darken it down a little. I've got the magentas and it's a cadmium red hue that I've got, so it's a nice striking red for the pinks in the picture. You'll see that when you see the colours in the pictures, it's quite striking, some of the colours. And I've also got ultramarine for a nice blue, and I've used a raw umber for my brown. The raw umber is quite a cool brown, so I didn't want, there's a lot of hot colours going on in it already, so I've used them for a lot of my dark clouds and sort of lines in it. Okay, so here we go. This is just a mixture, by the way, of water-based oils, and I've got my white oil, so I'm going to use turps, and I've got a little bit of liquid going on here, so you can use linseed oil as well. So let's get started. We'll get going with this. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure you can see this okay. It's a bit sunny in here yet, so it's are quite near the light here, so it's hard to see that. Right, okay, I'm just going to get started. Get a good view of the canvas. Get up a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid here and a little bit of white. I've got quite a big brush here, and I'm going to put just a little bit of lemon in it. So I'm going to get started right up here. Just get on. This is just a primed board, it's just a hard board. I just like the size of this one, so I haven't really worked on the hardboard with the primer on it yet, so we'll see how it goes. The one I did yesterday was a canvas and it worked out quite nice, so hopefully this will turn out good as well. So that's quite pale lemon at the moment, so I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of my orange in it there, just to sort of heat it up in the corners. Quite a lot of liquid going on there, so it's a wee bit watery now, so I'm just going to build that up with some of my white. Okay, hope you can see that all right. Okay, so my horizon's quite low down, so normally I make a halfway line there. I'll just do it with a little bit of orange now, just to give me an idea where I want to put my horizon. So my horizon's very low down here, it's almost quarter, so we'll just go just a tiny little bit above quarter there, and we'll just do a wee mark like that so that I know where my horizon's going to go. So as it happens, I've got a lot of orange going on around there, so I'll just sort of blend that in now, a lot of kind of peachy tones. So you'll have the picture, I'll send you the picture of this so you can work off the pictures yourself and go along with the video as well. Okay, so I've got quite a mixture of yellow and a bit of orange going on. This is about, say you go to halfway on the board there and just work to the right, put most of that colour kind of shooting over there a bit to the right. Bring it down like that, because this area is going to be the big blast of light and then the dark here, so we'll just blend them in and out. So you can start putting some little bits of pink and red in here as well, just round about here. Just gradually work them in, just a mixture of the hot colours. The hot colours are like the deep strong pink, the orange and the red hue. So the cadmium red's quite a strong one. When it says hue, it's a bit stronger pigment, so you get more tones, you can create more tones out of it. So again there with a little bit of red. So usually when you do sky pictures, and even if you're copying the same one that you've done again, you always make wee changes to it as you go along, but sometimes it's nice changes, it makes it different, so that's what makes it fun. You never want to do two paintings exactly the same. So we'll go as near as that for the demo anyway. Okay, so I've got that going on, got a little bit of peach going on down here as well. Just as these are sort of undertones I'm blocking in at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to move away from there now and I'm going to go over to this side here. Hope you can see this alright. Okay, so I'm going to go over to this side now, and I still get a lot of peach on my brush, so I'm just going to sort of finish off the edges of that yellow. If I do that, it lets you see the yellow more. You see how when you add a darker tone, it enhances the light ones and it lets you see them. So if I go up there, sort of clean my brush if you like, up there a bit, and it looks kind of peachy. It covers the board a bit more as well, and it shows off the orangey tones, the peachy tones a bit more. So you always need a nice colour and a base so that you can put your whites on top of it as well. Okay, so that's us. I'm going to use that area for a big dramatic cloud there. So for here, I'm just going to go over and sort of just gradually cover the board with a bit of light. I'm heading more towards the white now because I'm going to put a sort of pinky grey lilac in here in a minute. But when I did that, when I didn't add this into later on, so I just started working on all this and then the bottom, and then I went back to that. So, but just while we're here, we can put that in. So I'm just sort of covering the board now. This board's not too bad to work on actually. So I'm not using an awful lot of liquid or turps or anything now because I've got quite a lot still in my brush. So I'm just sort of basing that. Just covering my board. If you go around in little circles, remember it covers your grains of the board, and especially if it's a canvas you're on, it feeds into the canvas and it gives you a nice smooth surface. And likewise with this board as well. So just sort of go around it as your brush is drying out a bit, just to make sure that you've covered all that. Okay, and I want to bring it quite low down that, so the yellow and the white and a wee bit peach is going for quite a bit. A bit more peach in the centre. The reason I'm putting the sort of peachy tones here, I can go for a wee bit yellow ochre in this now. The reason I'm going for that there is so that when I put my big blast of light there, it shows up a wee bit more, because this is a little bit darker and it'll contrast it. So I'm going to, if you use on your palette, if you use a little bit of lemon and a little bit of orange together, that gives you a nice peach. But if you just use lemon and a little bit of yellow ochre, that gives you a nice golden colour. I'll show you that. So it goes a wee bit darker, see that? And that's what I've got sort of going on there. So that enhances the lemon there too. So every time you use a darker tone, it'll enhance the light that's round about it. Okay, so I've got a wee bit of that up there as well. So sometimes you're just drying the brush off the board and using up the colour before you go on to your next colour. So skies are great for that, because you're always going to use the colour in it anyway. Just watch your brushes that you don't get little hairs. Okay, I'm getting there. Sometimes the bigger the brush, the more chance of getting that. Okay, so this is my horizon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that big brush down for a minute, and I'm going to go for this brush now, and I'm going to get a wee bit of the orange on that now, just so that you can see that horizon a little bit stronger. So putting that on the now. And one way to make sure that your horizon's straight, because sometimes the angle you're sitting at, you think it's straight, and then when you stand back from it, it's not. But one of the ways to check that is, it's a wee bit dry now, so I'll get a little bit more liquid here. I'll show you in a second just how to make sure that that is straight. So you just take your brush to the top of it there, to the bottom, and just hold that mark there and just check all along that it's the same all along, and that's pretty much straight. You'll see that once I get my dark colours on it as well. So I'll leave that, I'll not put the dark colours on it now because I just want to work with all the light colours first. Okay, so at the moment I'm just going to block some areas in. So I'm just going to go straight in. I might have a wee bit of white still in my brush, so just make sure if you get any darker tones, just try and get rid of them. So I'm going to go for a little bit of the pink here, and I'll just put some pink in first actually. So that's just above the horizon, but not immediately above it, it's probably a bit there. So they look quite bold at the moment when you put them in. Now it's a good idea probably just to wash your brush at this point, especially if it's a brush you've been doing all the lights, because the white does carry through and it can weaken these nice rich colours. So it's good to just wash that. So I'm going to go with a bit more pink now, a little bit stronger, and a little bit of red just at the end of it. That makes it a little bit stronger again. But just keep your eye on the board from the middle here, that you're not going too near the middle, because this is all your openness here where it's all bright. So I'm just going to get a wee bit bolder with the pink there to the bottom. And just above it I've got a bit of the blue. This will probably go a bit lilac because I'm working with pink, but that's fine. So just in that I've got some blue going on. You can sweep it up like that as well for a bit more drama on it. And then you can put a couple of wee marks up there. So I'm just going to clean my brush now, and I want to go back and do those peachy lemony colours down the bottom. So you're just going in here nice and light. You're always best working with the base tone first, which is nearest to the white, a bit of lemon in the white here. So there's quite a good bit of coverage on my board now, but it's quite moist, so I'm just going to build it up with some colours. White's quite good for soaking up the colours. I usually, when I'm doing demos, I usually suggest to people if it's a light coloured sky, put your white down first and actually just put your colours direct onto your board instead of trying to mix up the palette, because it works better. But sometimes with a sunset like this where it's all quite dramatic colours, you don't want a lot of whites under all these nice strong colours, because you would lose all the nice sort of sharpness of the nice strong colours. And you don't want to lose that with oil, because oil is lovely for doing nice strong tones. So I'm going to get this a wee bit more peachy over here. So you're kind of going in form of the palette, you're going from light to dark here. A bit more orange here. Sometimes I pat my colours on like that first, because you get a bit more out of them, and then spread them, and then that allows you to spread that in there. And quite often I use my fingers to do that as well. You can do that sort of thing. Okay, or you can dry your brush or get another brush and sweep some of that over as well. Okay. And there's a wee bit of that colour, a wee bit peachy pink at the other side. It's not as strong at the other side though, it's mainly more orangey tones at that side. A bit more orange in there. Okay, so you can see it's starting to take shape a bit now with the colours. So I'm just cleaning my brush again, and I think maybe what I'll do now is get into a smaller brush, because I'm getting into smaller blocks of colours. So this is my small brush, just a little flat brush, an oil brush. And what I'll do is I'll mark out where my big cloud is going. So to get that, I'll use my ultramarine there with a little bit of brown in it. And it's just to tone down the blues the now. I'm just looking for a big sort of cloudy, dark cloud, but I want lots of colours in it. Don't know, I'll just give you another wee look at the picture I'm doing again, just to let you see where I'm going. See all the colours that's in the cloud. Okay. Bring this a little bit closer, see if you can see this. So this is the area where I'm doing the clouds. So there's half the picture. It's more to the right hand side of the picture, and I'm just going to do a little shape round there. Try if you can keeping your clouds quite flat at the bottom, but you don't want them sharp lines. It's just good for your distance. I'll explain this in a second once I get this in. So I just want to get an area here where you've got clouds, but you see how I'm sort of working with them almost flat now at the edges. You can sort of bring them down a little bit, and then another big one there. Now this is just the brown and the blue that I'm working with at the moment. Everything's pretty wet now, so you'll get your colours a little bit stronger once everything's on and it's drying out a little bit. So that's just a darker colour. So I want lots of colours in there before I pull some of that through, so I'm not pulling it through right now. So that's just an area of where the cloud is going to go. And then there's another great big one. There's hardly even a space between it. It just starts about there. And there's quite a big one going right across there. So just kind of marking out where we're going with this first. I wasn't sure for a while whether to use blue in this sky or not. I really wanted it just to be nice hot colours, but the blue's acting as a nice shadow in the sky. So it worked out quite good. And when you use a dark brown, especially a brown that's not got reds in it, with the blue, it gives you almost like a dark blacky, deep velvety tone, which is nice, and it's better than using black. So that's quite nice there, just to darken those edges up. Okay, there's another one coming in there, but that one is a little bit more sort of blue and pinks going in there. So just kind of mark it in the now so that I know it's to go in there. So it's kind of flat at the bottom, the now. And it's quite nice because you can sort of, with your clouds, you can sort of create like almost like a wee zigzag of the peach coming round here. So if you do this sort of thing, it's quite nice. And then you know that's your area for doing the pinks and the blues. And you can leave just little bits of the peach coming through there. Okay, and then I can clean my brush or just use another brush even and just go in with the pink and do a nice big dash of the pink. Just mind pat it on first, you get more out it, and it shows your colours up more, and then just gently sweep it in like that. Okay, so that's that bit done. So we've covered quite a lot of it so far. So you can use your little bits of pink where you see them. There's some just dotted about on some of the colours, and there's also the peachy tone and yellow. So remember we used the yellow first and then the peach, so you can do that as you're coming out of these little clouds. So if I go for my white with a little bit of lemon and just pat it, this is a small pointy brush now, it's just so that you're not going too near the dark colours to pick up any dark. But if you go around about them with a nice bright yellow, when it's dry you can go back in between some little bits as well, or if you're really careful, do it now. So there's a few in there as well. I want to get like stronger yellow because it's getting darker as it goes back there, and then it goes straight into the orange. So we've got the yellow going now, and just right after the yellow and there is the orange. So the orange is the darkest bit going back into the dark, so you would go from light into dark, and this is going to be super white here with some little interruptions. So we've got this going on here, and this is the area in here I want a wee bit of pink. So I can go back to my pink brush now and just go in there with little bits of pink. Doesn't matter if it goes over it, that's what we want. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of pat that on there a little bit. Just the pink first. You can use a brush for this. I just use my finger as a wee technique sometimes, because I feel as if you're in control of the colour, that it's not getting diluted with your brush and water and liquids. Right, so there's a wee bit of that going on there. So make sure you can see all the colours, but they don't have to be in a row. You can go back and interrupt wee bits like that and like that. See? Makes it look more cloudy. Okay, so that's that bit done now. What I'll do now is get the white in, but I think I'll put some fresh white out in my palette now. And what I'm going to do, you can use a clean brush for this, or well, I'll just do that because most people probably use a brush. I'll just put this on with a big thick brush, and you just want to get big bits of pure white on there, but just pat it on so that it doesn't pick up colours that you've already put on. Now once this is on, you can move it around. So there's quite a bit sort of goes in round about there. And the brush being round headed like that, when you press on it and lean on it, it opens it up, so it gives you that sort of spray almost. Good for doing seascapes, this big brush as well. Great for trees as well. So it's good for this kind of thing. So where I've done that and I don't want to pick that up, I can just interrupt it little bits like that. But you only get away with doing it maybe the once, like that, so that you don't pick up any other colours. Okay, you might have a wee bit going out there. And then this is where you've got a couple of little bits going along here. I'll go back to that in a minute. I usually use my flat brush for that, but that's okay. And then there's a little bit of clouds that are going up there. That doesn't need to be as white as this one. This is your sort of feature here. And then these will be outlined with a lot of white. And just above the horizon, you'll have quite a big white stripe as well. So we'll just, this is it, the light's coming right through this cloud here. So there you go, you're just getting a big bit of light. The more you do, the better, because you can surround it with other colours once it's on. Okay, so while I've got this big brush on my palette, I've went to white there, so that's my first colour. I can go to my second colour now, which is lemon, and start working in the lemon. These bits here are quite flat. You'd almost think it was the water, but it's not. It's actually still part of the sky. So what I'm going to do there is just blend them in without taking the white away. Pull them back into the oranges so that it makes them softer, more peachy, like that. And then you're back up there into the sky with the yellow and the orange. You can even use a bit of yellow ochre. As I say, the yellow ochre makes it look a wee bit more golden. So that's quite strong, and that's okay. That's okay that that's like that. I use wipes quite a lot because it can dilute things, and if I just wet my brush a little bit and just spread that a little bit, I can get quite a lot of uses out of that. It can go into different colours here. A little bit thinner than I started with. So they'll all be good for bringing up those little clouds up there. Okay, so normally for flat areas like that I would use a big flat brush, so I'm just going to clean my flat brush, and hopefully got a lot of pink going on it. Hopefully I can dry a lot of that off. I just use a little rag. Try not to use tissues so you'll get little bits coming off it, because oil's a bit tougher. So I've just got a clean brush there, I'm just going to blend that through a little bit more. And if you want these here, you've got a little bit of blue on there, you can sweep some of them through just a little bit with a big brush. Big brush is great for that as well, to get rid of sort of hard lines, and it gives you nice wee sweeps. Okay. The same with this side, just make sure it's dried off again. And you can take the pink, brush it up towards the sky first, and then just sweep it in like that. Now I'm going to go back and do my flat brush again. So I'm just going to wash all the colours off at the now, and I'm going to show you how I get a nice lilac for this bit up the top. And this also gives you the wee lines under some of the light clouds there as well. So I'm going to use pink and a little bit of blue. Sorry, that was red I went into there. Do that again. So a little bit of pink and a little bit of ultramarine. That gives you a lovely deep violet. And you can put a little bit of brown on it, which turns it into a sort of mauve instead of a sweetie lilac. Gives you a nice kind of mauve colour. And then you can put a little bit of white in it just to tone it down a little bit. And if it goes a bit pinky, just keep topping it up with a little bit of blue. So there you go, that should do. Okay, so I'm going to start over here first, doing some of these coming in from the side. Get a bit more brown in that. So you just keep adding into your colour what you need. You know as soon as you put it on your palette if you need anything else. So I'm just going to line under these a little bit. Because everything's still fairly wet there, it means that I can blend it in a little bit as well. I can even make it into more of a little cloud sitting there. And just this cloud that's up here, you can hardly see it, but the minute I put little bits of lilac in it like that, just tap on it like that. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Just tap on it like that. That breaks that up a wee bit and it lets you see there's clouds going on there. There's a little bit of lilac coming in just above this as well, so sometimes just cleaning what's left of your brush is just enough for what you need. Blend it in but still show off the peachy reddy tones there. I'll go in there a bit stronger as well. So you'll get to a point after you've got all the blocks in like this, you'll get to a point where you'll be using smaller brushes to get into some detail. So I'm going to go back up this corner here. I hope you are seeing this alright. I'm going to go back up to this corner here. I'm going to put some of the greys and the lilac-y tones up here. I'm going to use my big brush here. Let's see what's on this. I'll just clean this. I'm going to use my big brush here, and I'll just put a little dab of white on it, and it's just so that I can move this around a bit more powdery. See, that spreads that, so it's quite weak. Keep it darker at the corners, but it's quite weak as it comes into these colours. And as I say, going round in circles feeds it well into the grains of the board. You can add a little bit more darker tones up in the corner if you like. It's just a little bit more grey, which is my brown with the lilac. And anything dark, as I say, will enhance your light, so that's all good. And you can put some little bits of white around there just to show up some nice clouds of light. But you don't want anything as bright as that because that's your feature piece on there. So that's sort of like your focal point, but we'll interrupt that with little bits of grey as well. So that just kind of feeds that into the rest of your sky. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this here is I'm just going to blend that a little bit there, soften that, a bit more powdery. Okay, so I should have a little bit of that grey lilac still on my brush, so I can go in and interrupt some of these. Now, inside the clouds are still a wee bit of these sort of yellowy tones, so they're my base, so I want them in first, and just a tiny bit of the orange. So it just keeps the warmth of the sky all around us, but you can go in between like that and just make some little bits of darker tones. This is what brings out the light of the sky. So there's just one or two sometimes just breaking through and breaking through there. I can go a wee bit more sort of yellowy orangey in there. Just keep the nice warm tones showing there. You can even put a bit of the pink in, a bit more with your finger. It just shows up a wee bit more with your finger. Right. So I'm going to now go in and put little bits of more of this orange and deep reds coming in here, and I've got a little bit more of them to do here. So far so good. I'll let you have a look at that. I just hope you have seen that all right. Okay. So that's the first part. So I'll join you for the second part.